Hey gems! Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking all about body image and being able to embrace the body that we live in, you know? Because sometimes our bodies, we attach so much shame and guilt and just fear towards it. And to think that we live in these bodies, but we treat it like it's a liability. But again, it's understandable because of all the things that we are consuming on social media and even comments from, let's say, our families, our church members, or our friends, and even ourselves. Those things can really affect how we see ourselves. And sometimes, or even most of the times, we are not as bad as we think we are. Okay, so we're just going to dive deeper, or should I say delve deeper into some points that you can do to start embracing and loving yourself again. And when I say yourself, I mean all of you, okay? Okay. Alright, so the first thing I want you to do is understand that you are not alone, okay? On this journey, you are not alone. Recognize, accept, and start to understand that a lot of people are dealing with things behind closed doors, and you are not alone. Nobody's perfect. And if you could be a fly on somebody's wall, someone you really admire and want to be, or even idolize, if you could be a fly on their wall, you would see their insecurities and you will see that they don't have it all together, and they will probably appreciate some things that you probably don't even like about yourself. They will look at you and say, well, I wish I had that. So at the end of the day, we all want something that we cannot have at some point in time. But understanding that we are not alone in those thoughts can help us better attempt to salvage the situation of, falling in love with ourselves again. Okay, so recognize that you are not alone. We all have issues. And then the next thing is be very careful who you compare yourself to, especially if it's people on social media that you've never seen before, celebrities, and your friends. Okay, be very careful. I know for me, I was subconsciously doing this as I was scrolling through social media, as you do most of the time. I would see all these shapes and bodies, and especially after I had my son, I was thinking to myself, am I even going to snap back? This celebrity says she snapped back in 3 weeks. And I was thinking to myself, I could barely stand the first 6 to 8 weeks. Does that mean I'm flawed? What's wrong with me? Why is my body not doing what her body is doing, And this only makes the situation worse. Because I know for myself, I lost so much weight, I lost my appetite, and I was also breastfeeding. I was going through depression, and when I looked at myself in the mirror, it no longer looked like the way I was used to looking. And at that moment in time, if you do not catch yourself in those thoughts, it can be very detrimental to your health, because now you have this bundle of joy in your arms. You're trying to love your child, but at the same time you're being influenced by all these influencers as well as celebrities telling you that this is how it happened for me, and now you start questioning yourself. So be very careful who you indirectly and directly compare yourself to. Okay, if it's getting too much on your social media feed, delete them, unfollow them, or mute them. It always helps. The next thing is please avoid unrealistic diet goals or fitness goals, because you get into this cycle of, I'm going to start this diet, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to exercise 10 times a day, and you fail, and then you feel disappointed, and then you start criticizing yourself, and then you start feeling shame and then guilt, and then the cycle keeps going on and on, and then your stress hormones are here, and then you start to become resentful of your friends that do look good, or vice versa. So please catch yourself. when you're making these, or you're setting these unrealistic fitness goals, or you're starting on these weird and wacky dieting plans that you know you cannot keep up with. The minute you stop doing them, either you gain all the weight back or you lose all the weight off, you know, depending on what your fitness goals are. Just be very realistic about what it is, and always tailor it around your particular schedule, okay? Your day-to-day lifestyle, plan it around that. That way, you know, it's very much attainable. Even if it's, you can exercise twice a week, you know, it's within reason and it's within your means for now. You can always improve it later down the line, but at least you're starting, and you're not doing this crazy thing of like 10 hours a day, you know? So just bear that in mind. And then the next one I would say is fall in love with yourself or your body again, okay? Fall in love means it's a process, it's a verb, it's a doing thing, it's a process, okay? And a journey. You live in your body every day. Why not embrace it, you know, and make the most of it? And I like to do this exercise. Well, it used to be an exercise, now it's a lifestyle. I find, are you ready? I find that if you go literally naked, you know, after you've taken your shower, absolutely naked, you know, in front of your mirror, observe yourself, burn the image of yourself into your brain. Because what happens is, whilst you're scrolling through Instagram or through newspapers, do we even read newspapers these days? I'll say Instagram, Facebook, online, wherever it is, or even seeing your friends, your mothers, your aunties, basically anyone who looks good, you know. Your mind is literally burning images and photos into your brain of all these amazing people on paper. And you start to think to yourself, well, I don't look like that. But the thing is, you probably haven't even seen yourself like that, or you haven't looked at yourself like that. So start practicing this in the mirror, because I find that when I did this, the areas that I did not like, I've put a plan in place on how I will rectify it, i.e. work out at home. So I've got videos coming up on that, so make sure you subscribe. And in terms of my skin, I used to have quite a lot of acne, and I started to change my nutrition. So I noticed that I wasn't drinking enough water and I wasn't eating any fruits, not much at all. So now the easiest thing that I do is I get a bunch of fruit, the healthy ones that are the ones that are packed with vitamin A, especially for skin, you know, the ones that target the skin. I'm actually going to do a video on that to help you out as well. And then I literally blend all of them, strain it, and I drink it every single morning with some hot water. And literally my skin, yes, I got makeup on, but very little makeup aside from the eyeshadow. But boy, my skin has really taken a turn for the best. So yeah, this is just for you to understand that sometimes we think that we're alone in this battle and we can't do anything in our power to change anything about ourselves. But most of the time we can. And when we change maybe our diet, not dieting, but what we eat, if we change it up slightly, we start incorporating exercising, and whilst we are also working on our minds, that whole experience gives us a better mental health overall, you know. Yeah, so hopefully that's something you incorporate in your whole process, or in your journey back to falling in love with yourself and your body. And then last but not the least is just practicing gratitude for what we do have, okay? Sometimes we may have overlooked how beautiful we are, you know, because we're so focused on imagining all the things that we are not. So once we just stop ourselves in our tracks and we say to ourselves, do you know what, I'm tired of being unhappy. Don't you ever feel like that sometimes? You're like, I'm just tired, you know, I want better. And the thing is, you can do better. The minute you say, I don't want this outcome anymore, I just want to be happy, you can be happy. And you can start being happy by focusing on what you do have, treating your body like it is an asset. You know, it is an asset to you. It gets you from A to B. It gets you from the living room to the kitchen since we can't go out, so hopefully that makes sense. But you get what I mean. We need to appreciate what we have, because there are a lot of people who do not have what we have, and practicing gratitude is the least thing that we can do. So I do pray that this video will help you in some capacity for you to start the process. So another exercise is to lay down things that you love about your body and the things that you don't like about your body, and how you are going to work on improving or enhancing or getting it better. You know, just basically adopting a healthier approach to what your body is and the image you have of yourself. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe please. It really does help YouTube recommend my content, to also help someone who's struggling with accepting their body. Alright guys, take care and God bless. Bye bye.